What's up, y'all? We are out here at one of our newest projects we are dubbing the Lamborghini of Kitchens. This kitchen is, for all intents and purposes, unstoppable. It's about as badass as it gets. Decked out with marble, insanely high appliance package. The freaking butler's pantry would be an amazing kitchen on its own, and we are decking it all out. And who I have here with me today is Joseph. To give you guys just a quick little background, Joseph's been kind of a protege of mine for a little bit. And Joseph has been kicking ass. He's done a ton of work for us as a subcontractor capacity. A lot of the stuff that we're gonna be working on is renovation heavy. I mean, this project is no small project. It's about 600,000 alone. So why I'm introducing Joseph is we wanna be putting out double the content here at Revent Builds. We have some awesome projects going on. I can't be everywhere at once. So you're gonna be following Joseph along. He's gonna have his own GoPro. He's gonna be updating a lot of the projects. Him and Derek are gonna be working together. This is kind of gonna be like our first step into like bringing on other contractors, kind of like Reisinger does with the Build Show.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the existing layout of the existing kitchen and what we're gonna change it to.
Yeah, so the existing layout is what you see here. So the kitchen was all along these back walls where you have your drywall demoed. We had an island here. It had sink, outlets, a little bit of electrical, just a standard island, and your range was on the back wall. And what we're gonna do is we got rid of everything, and this kitchen will actually shift forward, and where you see this inset is gonna become a butler's pantry. So we're gonna have a door here that you'll be able to actually go behind the new kitchen and have access to your appliance garage, your extra storage. There's a large countertop with a sink in here as well to be able to do any miscellaneous dishes or anything like that back in here. The whole kitchen will move forward, and with us demoing out this entire section here, we'll be able to get a lot of space here, a clear line of sight.
All right, so demo of an existing home, always exciting, always finding unknowns. How did everything go? Like, how did all of this look before? How do you feel on where we're at now?
Surprisingly, it went smooth. Honestly, we were in and out in about 3 days. The guys did great masking off everything. We're really only working in this area until we're ready to do floors. So we masked off that rest of the house. Yeah, so I mean, everything that was in our way has already been make-safe. So we had our plumbers come out. They came and capped everything in the ceilings. All the large wiring are 220s for ovens, those are all capped.
Tell me the importance of a make-safe and what is that and what are the things that we had to do?
My first concern is water whenever we're doing demo. So what we did is demoed very carefully anywhere that we knew there was water. So refrigerators, ice makers, anything we knew that had water in it, we demoed very carefully. And then we had our plumbers come and cap in the ceiling. So that way those lines cannot be hit. And then when it comes to electrical, right, once we're demoing, we shut everything off, we get all the drywall off the walls, and then we have our electricians come out and they pull back any wire. And that's why they have them strung up right here, is so that way no one's getting shocked, everything's safe, everything's capped and nutted, especially for clients. Most of the contractors, they know how to keep safe on a job site, but we have clients coming in and out, they have access to their own home. Their kids. So the first wall that's coming out is gonna be this. So we have a little check here. That's where our butler's pantry is gonna stop. But our new kitchen is actually gonna go all the way to this far wall. So this wall is gonna be taken out completely. Luckily, there's not too much stuff on top of this. We have HVAC air handler / furnace up there that we'll have to do something with. And then we have one roof brace that's sitting right here on this corner. And structural has let us know that we can put it on the far corner, so that's not a huge issue. And then when it comes to this, something that our engineer kind of pointed out is the girder truss is kind of strange, but it allows us, really, that's the only true load bearing point. So it allows us to just put a single drop beam all the way across, and it's actually gonna make this kind of like a coffered ceiling type. We'll have 2 drop beams that'll sit on both sides that'll cover everything.
All right, so you brought up a girder truss. This is a good point just for any newcomers. So a girder truss, if you look, this is stacked, it's a triple. And that is a truss because it's manufactured. That's a made piece, and it's carrying the load of other members. So these are joists up here because that's just regular lumber. But if they were other trusses, they would land on that girder truss. And if you zoom in on those hangers there, those hangers are hanging those joists from the girder. So the girder It acts as a truss, but also a load carrying member. And this is really important because if you have penetrations of like HVAC, or if you have to put wires through it, you can't just cut it. Other trusses, if we need to cut these back that hang on the girder, we can cut them back, we can repair them. It's a lot easier to deal with, but like without a big expense, you don't want to mess with the girder truss. All right, Joseph, let's get into some of the details on why this is not just a regular kitchen, but the Lambo kitchen. Really the main focal point. Let's talk about this vent hood surround. Absolutely bonkers. Tell me about what the details are there.
Yeah, so we have a 48-inch hood that's gonna be completely wrapped in marble. So the same marble that's going on the backsplash is gonna go on the hood.
So this is not tile?
No.
This is 3 cm.
Yes.
Or it might be 2 cm.
No, it's probably gonna be 3 cm, 1.25 inches.
Yeah,
Inch
and a quarter. We're putting 1.25 inches on the vent hood surround.
Yes, so the actual surround will be built by our cabinet manufacturer. They're amazing at doing CNC frames. So basically, Soul Solutions, yes. They're amazing. But they'll go ahead and build the frame. They'll also build kind of our beveled corbels here. And then we're gonna actually wrap all of that in the same marble as well. Yes. So we have a nice feature at the bottom of our range hood that will carry it into the backsplash. And then we have a large curb cut out, and then the inset over the range is actually gonna be tile. So it's gonna be a nice accent.
That's a really high-end tile. It's clay imports,
yes.
Like porous tile.
Exactly, and that same tile is gonna be tied to the butler's pantry to make a nice cohesive look. So our whole backsplash in the butler's pantry will be that same tile.
So now let's talk about the butler's pantry. I mean, dude, this is massive. This used to be the old kitchen. Exactly. So the butler's pantry is taking up the same space as the original kitchen, plus we're expanding over there.
Yeah, so we'll be expanding over there, but this little check that you see here will be the end of our butler's pantry, but still it's gonna be, I mean, massive. There's gonna be so much extra storage here.
All right, cool, yeah, let's talk about how we're transitioning from kitchen to bar to living.
Yeah, so basically her main focal point was gonna be the kitchen, right? She wanted the kitchen to be amazing. But with that being said, if you have an amazing kitchen, everything that's gonna be affected by the space probably needs to be upgraded. So we had matching cabinets here and the entertainment center, and that's just, you know, in a home like this, they're gonna want those to match. So,
and it not only is like a necessary thing to do like for resale, but like it would just look so weird if you didn't, right? It's like, why would you spend all this money over here if you didn't do that?
Yeah, and the remodel would look half done, to be completely honest. So what we're decided to do is we're gonna bump out the kitchen. Because we're getting rid of this whole space, it's not gonna really encroach our kitchen anymore. We may be losing space as far as the old footprint, but we're gaining space when we open up this wall. This is gonna be kind of a hybrid dining seating area. So we're gonna have a fixed island, waterfall edges on the countertops with seating on both sides. And then we'll also have a bar where that arches. We'll have a wine fridge and a sink.
Not only do we have a second full island, like this island is huge right here. We have a huge island there, a huge island here, a peninsula there for the bar. Coming into this space, really cool area, super high ceilings. All right, cool. So in here, we have these beautiful beams that we're keeping. We used to have those over there. We kind of did away with it. It's just way too busy with like how much is going on in there. But we're putting in beams for the ceiling here. So tell me, how are we dealing with this higher ceiling condition here with a lower ceiling there, and how is that space gonna be kind of configured?
Yeah, so we decided to do drop beams here. So we're not really messing with any framing that's gonna be above the wall you see. We're gonna have our beam that's gonna carry the load underneath, and we're gonna have that same beam matching on the other side. So it's gonna break up this space and, you know, not make it feel weird as just a step down straight over to the kitchen. So it's gonna break up this space, and it'll allow it to feel like a separate space without encroaching on any natural light, or, you know, the space will still be open.
And it'll be a nice transition from that ceiling height to this ceiling.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about, we have a full decked out entertainment center.
Yeah, so this entertainment center, honestly, even the previous one was nice. I mean,
it was good. I mean,
yeah, but
it's not Lambo level. That's the problem.
Well, and it makes this look less than what it was. And so that was something that our client really wanted to make sure it didn't happen. She's spending all of this money on the kitchen, and you turn your head to the left and it just looks dated, and even more dated than it would have originally. So here we actually have floating shelves. So we have 3 floating shelves on either side. Those are gonna be solid oak. And then we're gonna have an oak veneer paneling. Everybody has a budget. Everybody, you know, has things that they wanna spend the money on. Yeah. And so what we were able to do is find a matching oak veneer and cut a significant amount of cost, matching this to our solid oak that's in the kitchen.
So as we walk, another thing I wanna mention, they have some nice hardwood here. I think it's solid wood. So when we remove all these walls, all the finish is not gonna work. And honestly, the client just overall felt it was too dark, right? So what are we doing as far as the floors?
Yeah, so the whole floor is gonna get a sand and stain. So we're gonna take them all the way down to bare and we're gonna resand or restain everything. So that'll be done later in the project. Obviously, we wanna keep everything covered, you know, everything from getting, you know, divots while all the dirty stuff is going
like
on.
a rock on someone's shoe and all that kind of
Exactly. And then once we start to get drywall up, things like that, then we'll start to do that sand and stain process.
stuff. Head over to utility. So this is receiving the new tile from the laundry.
So we actually have a little bit of a change here. So we're actually redoing this mudroom that you're standing in. So we're gonna have lockers. We're gonna have full height cabinets to the bottom of the windows on both sides, and then have 2 locker styles with really small partitions.
Awesome.
And we'll have 4 drawers down here. And that'll just allow for, you know, kind of an informal mudroom coming out of the garage. And what we decided to do, instead of carrying the tile, because it's visible from everywhere else, we're gonna cut the tile here and bring the wood up over, and then just sand and stain along with the rest.
And since we're sand and staining, it's not gonna be a problem.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then what we'll do is we'll cut, so we have a checkered marble going in here, black and white, it's gonna look awesome.
Super timeless.
Yep, and then what we'll do is we'll cut that right here at the door, and so that way it's not visible.
All right, now let's talk about the utility room. It's also a pretty freaking big space.
Yeah, so in here, we're actually keeping kind of the same layout. Something that's been discussed recently though is maybe getting rid of this closet. Yeah.
I've been saying that kind of from the beginning. I feel like that's going to be a good move.
Yeah, and I think it would
Look
just
at how
open up the
boxy
space.
this is. Dude, it takes so much space.
Yeah, so I've been really trying to talk with our client about getting rid of that and doing a full height cabinet. We either are gonna do that or we're gonna carry the countertop all the way over there and do a full height here. And that way she can fold her clothes or do anything that she needs there. But here's just almost a direct replacement with the new cabinetry that's gonna match everywhere else. So we're gonna go new cabinetry. We have our machines that are gonna be here, new sink, new backsplash. We're gonna have floating shelves instead of uppers on this side, just to give it a little bit more space, more feel. And then, yeah, I mean, everything else is gonna match.
Well, and honestly, if you think about it, in Texas, I mean, we do it big, right? This could be a New York City kitchen.
Oh yeah.
100%. This would be like an oversized kitchen.
I have friends that studied in New York City and this was their room. Like this was their house. So
yeah, so this is like after the kitchen, the butler's pantry, the bar, the living room, now the laundry. You know what I mean? So this is where I know a lot of people are like, oh, 600 grand, you're ripping them off. It's like, you guys just really don't understand the levels of going from a B to an A plus. Because guess what? There are people that triple or quadruple our costs because they're doing Bugatti level. With all the complexities that we have, I think it's more than fair. Obviously, our client is super happy. You're gonna execute on everything, dude. I just love, even this video, man, it just solidifies. I can't believe how far that you've come. I mean, you come from a finance background, right?
Yeah, originally. I moved out here, tried my hand in construction, didn't know much, and then, you know, found you and you helped me along the way.
And we met, let's link it. We met on one of our demo videos where we all dressed up as like horror characters. You were Jason, right? And Joseph, I just put on my story on Instagram, hey, we need some more bodies for this video, come out. And like, what happened? Why did you reach out?
Honestly, I had no idea I was even following you. I think, you know, for me coming in, you know, moving to Austin, I just needed to figure it out. I had just bought a duplex up north, realized I couldn't fix anything, and I was like, I need to figure out construction. So I started getting into it, and then, you know, slowly but surely, I started following people in Austin, saw you post that video. Not gonna lie, definitely thought more people were gonna show up. But it was just me, so.
I know.
And it worked out perfect.
Well, and we had our own crew, but like of the outsiders, only you actually showed.
Yeah, so when I got there, I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And honestly, it was by far one of the most impactful days of my life because, you know, it's breeded this. You've helped me so much along the way. You know, with sub recommendations, getting me out of shit, you know, even as far as just saying like, hey, this is normal to stress, or this is normal to do this. Because, you know, when you get into this industry, if you're just thrown into the fire, it's hard. If you do it kind of how we've done it and just start, you know, without being a superintendent and going through the motions, it gets really stressful, and you've helped me big time with that.
Well, and dude, honestly, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit because there's a lot of people that I talk to that didn't go anywhere. You took that initiative, you know? And the other thing is, I had the same help in my career from multiple different mentors. You know, I didn't even look at it like, it was like no sweat. It was so easy to talk to you. And then like, you know, you're coming back to me with new systems and your own cost catalog. And like, I'm like, oh wow, like this guy's really getting after it, you know? And then I took you on like, how many sales appointments did you go on with me?
Well, and that was, I mean, by far one of the biggest steps. Like for me, and I, you know, if we're getting into this, I can't emphasize enough, finding someone who is not only, you know, can be a mentor or knows what they're doing, but is also similar to you as far as like, you know, the way you speak or the way you talk or, you know, the way you handle yourselves. That's huge too, because every sales call or every way you deal with clients or deal with subs may not work for you.
Yeah.
And if you find a mentor that is similar or you can pull off of, that's what you were for me. Is I found that your systems or how you sold just translated well to me.
Now that we've gotten on the soapbox, you've heard about the Lambo kitchen. This thing is gonna be amazing. You've met Joseph, kind of heard a little bit of our backstory. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of him. We're gonna give him a GoPro. He's gonna be doing a lot of vlogging, a lot of handheld stuff. We're gonna be doing a lot of this. I love this two-person dynamic to just kind of go over like terms and talk through projects. And you're gonna see a lot more from Revent Builds. I appreciate y'all as always. Joseph, dude, I love you so much, buddy.
Love you too,
Thank
man.
you so much. We'll keep pushing.